Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 20 for the event Professional Prospects. In this example, we are going to study a male chart who is also into the textile business. Like the previous example, example 19, we had a detailed discussion on a male chart who is into manufacturing of fabrics in a very big scale and also doing, export business. So his business prospects we studied is a very good one despite some weakness. But whereas this example, who is also into the same type of profession, is into manufacturing and supplying the textile fabrics to the other exporters, and also to some extent he is into export business. So the size of the business when compared to the example 19, the previous example, this is only moderate. And also the size of the business and also the progress also, when compared to that example chart, this is only moderate. There will be ups and downs, but moderate growth is there. But when compared to the previous one, it is only moderate. So, how we are to study this example? How far the destiny is supportive for the professions into the manufacturing and export business of textiles, and also how far the destiny and the running periods are supportive for moderate with ups and downs according to the periods. Now let us examine the birth chart. Example 20, business prospects, manufacturing and export of textiles, slow and moderate growth in business. Now let us examine the birth chart. This is the birth chart of that male native born on 1st March 1979, 6:14 p.m., born in Tamil Nadu. Before proceed to the self-signification study and the EPS table study, let us have a general discussion on the birth chart. Let me open the North Indian chart. And now let us study the general study on the birth chart. This native is like previous example 19. This native also born in the Leo Lagna. That native was also Leo Lagna born. He is also Leo Lagna born. That Leo Lagna born in that chart, that Lagna Lord Sun is posted in the first house. It's a sign exchange with the, that Mercury 2 and 11 grouping and conjoined with the 10th Lord. 1, 10, 11 are strongly present in that chart. Here, this Lagna Lord Sun is posted in the 7th house and it is conjoined with the Ketu, afflicted by Ketu, and it is also conjoined with the Mars, though it is in the 6th house, but it is also in the same sign. So Mars influence also there on the Sun. Mars is for this Lagna, that is Badhaga Lord. So Lagna Lord is conjoined with the Ketu, influenced by Badhaga Lord also. And that Lagna Lord Sun in the sign of Saturn, that Saturn is posted in the sign of Lagna. So Saturn and Sun are in sign exchange. And that Saturn is conjoined with the Rahu, Lagna also connected to Rahu. So Lagna is posted in the 7th house and sign exchange with its sign Lord Saturn and also afflicted by Ketu and Mars, Badhaga Lord. And it means that Lagna Lord is not very well posted. It is got some afflictions, right? And let us check the 10th house. 10th Lord is Venus. Where Venus is posted? Venus is posted in the 5th house in the sign of Saturn. So 10th Lord cusp is ruled by Venus, Moon, and Saturn. Venus, Moon, Saturn are the rulers of the 10th cusp, and Venus is occupying 5th house, and whether it is influenced by any favorable or unfavorable key planet, Venus is aspected by Jupiter by seventh aspect. Jupiter is aspecting the Venus from the 11th house is fine. That Jupiter is fifth lord, eighth lord, occupying 11th house, aspecting the Venus from the 11th house, who is posted in the fifth house. 5, 8, 11 are favorable, despite this 5, 8 are having some weakness. And that Jupiter is posted in the sign of moon. That moon is posted in the sign of Jupiter. So here Jupiter and moon are in sign exchange. Moon is 12th lord and occupying 8th house. So here also in the previous chart, like that, moon is the significator of 12 and 8. Here moon and Jupiter both are in sign exchange. So Jupiter is getting the influence of the moon also 8 and 12 strongly. And aspecting to the Venus, Venus is third lord, 10th lord occupying fifth house. So 10th lord planet is influenced by the Jupiter and that indirectly moon by way of with the 5, 8, 11 and 8 and 12 significator. So 10th house is afflicted by the 5, 8, 12 grouping also. It is indicating some sort of weakness that we have to keep it in mind, right? So now what we have done, 10th Lord is posted in the 5th house and in the sign of Saturn, and that Venus is aspected by Jupiter. It is indicating 5, 8, 11 and also 8 and 12. And 10th star Lord is Moon. Moon is 8 and 12 significator. And Saturn is occupying Lagna, 6th Lord, 7th Lord occupying Lagna. And Saturn is sign exchange with the Sun, that is we already discussed. And that Saturn is conjoined with the Rahu and Saturn in the star of Venus. Venus is 10th Lord occupying 5th house that already discussed. So you can see this Venus, Moon, Saturn in the star of Venus. These are all talking about the Venus and Moon are important planets for the, textile related fabrics and yarn related things and all, Venus and Moon. And they're all supportive with the Baba Karaga, Graha Karagatva, all supportive for that. And also other houses, third house, 10th house, ninth house, they're all supportive for the job prospects. Four also important houses because for the manufacturing and also here that Mars role is fourth lord, ninth lord. Where is Mars posted? Mars posted in the sign of Saturn, and that Mars is conjoined with the Sun. Also, Mars is aspecting to Saturn, right? Both are aspecting each other. So they're all planets for the missionaries, and also Mars is ninth lord, fourth lord. Fourth lord, ninth lord is, important houses for the production also and for the export also. It is supportive, and that way, this person, is into the textile fabric manufacturing. So is running the factory and also doing some, exports. So that is the reason. We could see that with the help of that unfavorable grouping, we could see that when compared to the previous chart, this 10th house, Venus and Lagna all having some weakness by way of the affliction by of 8 and 12 significator and also that Badhaga Lord affliction, all things we could see from the natal chart analysis itself, right? So now we have studied that basically this chart is supportive for the business prospects despite some weakness, but it is also indicating some weakness. Moreover, you can see that native is entered into the business of the parental business. His father was doing the business. After his father's demise, he carried the business along with the father. So brother only he started his business. So it is a parental business. So parental business means role of ninth house, sixth house, And sun, role, or if they are present, they are all connecting to the parental, because sun is talking about the father, ninth house is also talking about the father, and sixth house is 10th house to the ninth house. So ninth, if the 10th cuspal sublord, 10th ruler are talking about this ninth house, sixth house, and also sun is connected, it is supportive for the profession of the parental business, right? Anyway, this is these 10th rulers are connecting to these houses. So that way, it is supportive. So we can find that the possible combination of the Graha Garagatva are indicating the type of profession. So now let us go to the self-significations and study the self-significations and give the respective shades according to their strength. I have selected the event business export import only. As I said in the previous chart for the comparison, I have chosen the same event because he is not just manufacturing, he is also doing the export business. But when compared to the that other example, that level is moderate. It is not to that great bigger scale. It is only small scale, moderate scale. We can say that. So I have selected that. Event, import export only, because ninth house, I want that ninth house is to be on the supportive side, because for the supportive would be ninth house, right? Otherwise, 9 will be coming under D3. Even if it is coming under D3, if you choose business all also, only grouping of houses only going to make that 9 and 5 are going to be favorable or unfavorable completely. Anyway, let me select planet colors and cell significators and check from Ketu. Ketu occupying 7th house and 11th cuspal sublord. This is good. And second planet Saturn 6, 7, 1, 4, 8, 12, and 10. That is also fine, except 8 and 12. So Ketu representing Saturn, its impact will be there. And so Ketu, we are getting light green. And Venus. Third Lord, 10th Lord occupying 5th house, 159 Star Lord, 1359 Cuspal Sublord. Venus, Karaga planet for the textiles also, apart from the moon. Third Lord, 10th Lord occupying 5th house. Though it is occupying 5th house is not good, being the 10th Lord, it is indicating some weakness, but being the third Lord means service, right? Communication, service, and it is also supportive for the export business if it is connected to the ninth house. 310 occupying 5, 3 is further supported by 5, supportive for the his efforts and business, and moving towards 159. This is supportive for the third house and fifth house, and also for the Lagna, though it is not a very good houses very for the business progress, but sublord is 1359. So these house grouping are supportive for the Lagna, also supportive for the business, and though it is not indicating very strongly favorable with the 6,000, 10,000, 11,000, but it is overall, it is good only for the business prospects, despite some weakness are present. So what we can do, Venus, we can give light green, not a dark green. And Sun, Lagna Lord occupying 7th house. This is good. And Rahu represents 1, 3, 7, 11. That is Kamatrikon is very good. But 8 and 12 Cuspal sublord. Sun is Lagna Lord is having favorable with the 8 and 12 by the second planet. So Sun is also getting some weakness. So let us give Sun also light green. Moon, 12th Lord occupying 8th house. This is not good. 12th Lord occupying 8th house indicating some obstacles. But 2, 6, 10 cuspal star lord. This is fine, but this is indicating some weakness. So both, it is having both favorable and unfavorable. Let us give the pink shade. Mars, 4th Lord, 9th Lord occupying 6th house. This is also good. 4th Lord, 9th Lord occupying 6th house. Mars also we can give green color. Rahu, Lagna occupant 3, 7, 11 cuspal star lord. This is good. But 8 and 12 cuspal sublord. Being the 8th and 12 cuspal sublord, and no other cuspal sublord. So Lagna moving towards favorable and a lot of obstacles are at the end. The occupant of the Lagna Rahu is giving that, influencing the Lagna Lord also. So that Ragu, we have to give that pink shade. It is indicating some both favorable and unfavorable because of the 8 and 12 significator at the sublot especially. Then Jupiter. Suppose Rahu instead of 8 and 12 at the sublord, if it is there only in the middle, if it is there only in the CST, if it is present, then we can say that 8 and 12 is only in the CST. All other levels are having favorable. We can give it is blue color also, but unfavorable signification 8 and 12 are strongly there in CSL, so we're given pink. Jupiter. Fifth Lord, eighth Lord occupying 11th house and 2, 4, 6 cuspal sublord. 5, 8, 11, these are all supportive for changes, but being 5, 8 significator and 11, 2, 4, 6 are very good for the professional prospect. Being the fifth Lord, eighth Lord occupying 11. So then it is indicating some weakness. Let us go with the pink shade, indicating it is supportive for challenges or changes, but all favorable only. So it is, when compared to Rahu, it has got favorable only. But because of the fifth lord and the eighth lord, so I'm giving that pink shade to indicate that some weakness giving houses are also change causing key planets also present. Saturn, sixth lord, seventh lord occupying Lagna, which is good. 4, 8, 12 cuspal star lord and 10th cuspal sun lord. Representing Ketu, 7 and 11. This is good. As I said, 8 and 12 only in the CST, all other houses are favorable, being the 10th cuspal sublord is good. But whenever we talk about the business, right, sixth house is favorable, but seven is very good house, and Lagna is also favorable. When six is connected to the 8 and 12, 6, 8, 12 grouping, whenever the planet is signifying, it is supportive for the business, and also it is supportive for the, I mean, sixth house, 8 and 12 is supportive for the dates, loans. It can give trouble to the Lagna because Lagna also connected 6, 1, 4, 8, 12 and 10. Favorable grouping, and this grouping is not good, 6, 8, 12 and Lagna. So that way Saturn we can give also pink. We have to keep it in mind. 6, 7, 1, 8 and 12. 8 and 12 alone is there, that is not a problem. But 6, 7, 1, 8 and 12. Sixth house is getting combined with the 8 and 12 along with the Lagna. So Lagna is going to face stress or hurdles or dates or more loans. That too for the purpose of 10th house. So that we need to be careful. This can be a mixed one. It can give trouble to the Lagna also. Mercury. 2, 11, 7 and 7th sublot. This is very good. So Mercury we have to give dark green. So we can give dark green to the Mercury. All other planets are green. And the Moon, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn. There are 4 planets are having that mixed significator. The previous chart, I think 1 or 2 only mixed one, and one planet will be light red, that is Moon. But all other planets are having green color. But here it is having favorable, but the impact of the 8 and 12 are strongly present for the Ketu here, and Sun is here, and Moon 8 and 12 grouping there for the straight away for the Moon and the Rahu and the Saturn. Moon is having that 8 and 12, 12 and 8, and this Rahu is 8 and 12, and Saturn is having 8 and 12. Then 3 planets directly in the rulers in their self-significations, and Ketu by second planet, and Sun is by through the second planet. So, 3 planets are 8 and 12 significators straight away, and 2 more planets through their second planet, they are having that 8 and 12. So, it is indicating there will be some obstacles, in influencing the planets, many planets. So, 3 plus 2, 5 planets. Remember in the other chart, 8 and 12 significator was only one. That moon, that planet is not, other planets are not having those 8 and 12 significator like this. Then when compared to this one, that planet 8 and 12 significator is very less. That is one more important point, how to differentiate, right? So now we have given the colors to all the planets. Use EPS colors, and let me save the colors and go back to the home page and check the destiny. Now let us go back home and check the destiny. Let me open the self-significators. And self-significators open. Also, we can open the self-significator along with the, support planets also we can open. Let me open that control B so we can have that both self-significators and also the support planets. So we can keep this. Now, yeah, let me open the natal chart also. For the North Indian chart, let me keep it here. So whenever required, we can move. Anyway. And South Indian chart, let me keep open here. Now let us check the destiny. 10th Lord is which planet? 10th Lord is Venus and 10th cuspal sublord is Saturn. So we have to check Venus and Saturn. Where is Venus? Venus is here. So Venus is here and Saturn is below. Let us check that Venus first. Venus is green planet. Good. In the star of sun, also green, light green. And you can see sun is 1 and 7, light green. But we can see representing Rahu, it has got pink. And the sun in the star of Rahu itself is got pink because favorable to the Lagna. But 8 and 12, that is Lagna is going to experience this, right? And sublord planet is Saturn, again mixed. 6, 7, 1, 4, 8, 12, and 10 sublord. And the Saturn in the star of Venus. So that planet and star level is supportive, but star in the star lord and the stowaway level planet, it is having 8 and 12. Lagna is going to obstacles, and further supported by the sublord, Lagna is going to face obstacles. These significations are reducing the strength of the Lagna, are indicating there will be always some sort of obstacles and hurdles along with that favorable grouping, right? So it indicates it is good only, but with a lot of obstacles are also there, Lagna will face, and also Lagna having got all favorable grouping also, right? That is good. But 8 and 12 grouping, that Rahu and Saturn are significantly playing. Along with that, if the planets are getting the rulers link also, then the impact will be more. Suppose Venus is there, Venus is in the star of sun. Suppose Venus is having the ruler link with the Rahu. Check the Venus. Venus is having Rahu. No, Venus is not having Rahu, but Venus is having Saturn, Moon, and Jupiter. These, mixed key planets are also influencing the Venus. And Sun planet already having the Rahu and Saturn. Look at Saturn. Saturn is having that Rahu in its support. So Saturn is getting the impact of the Rahu. So Rahu 8 and 12 is further giving, additional influence to the Saturn on the unfavorable, also favorable. So Saturn Rahu influence are strongly present for the Venus. It is supportive for the business prospects because it is third 10th lord moving towards this one, supportive for the job, professional prospect for the export, and also in the star of sun 1 and 7, favorable for own business, and with obstacles and hurdles are also present. Right. Now, 10th cuspal sublord. 10th cuspal sublord planet is Saturn. Saturn itself is already discussed is 8 and 12 pink shade in the star of Venus is fine. And this house grouping are supportive for the Lagna and also for the business, but it is not having that strong favorable grouping of 6 and 10 and 11. If these houses are instead of this grouping or along with this grouping, if 6th house, 10th house are also joining hands or 11 also joining hands, that would have been better one. Anyway, this is supportive. And 12 level planet Sun is having, that is also favorable, but this is not good. And sublord planet is Moon. So Moon is weak, obstacle causing with the, I mean, our 2, 6, 10 Karma Trikon, and Mercury is very good key planet. Mercury is there at the sub level, star lord of the sublord. So the 10th cuspal sublord planet is supportive for the business with hurdles. Star level planet is Venus 3, 10, 5, 1, 5, and all are good only. Whether Saturn and Venus are connected to each other, yes, Saturn is having that Venus in its support. So Saturn and Venus are, they are forming ruler link. That too, it is support. It is indicating fifth house and ninth house. They are all supportive for the, business. Parental business. You can see Saturn having that, having got the Mars also. What is the Mars? Mars planet is not only Badhaga Lord, it is Mars is ninth Lord and fourth Lord, supportive for the production and also parental business. And Saturn is in sign exchange with the Sun. So Sun is also important planet. Sun is 1 and 7. So that way these grouping are good for the business prospects connecting to the manufacturing and export also, and also parental business. But this 8 and 12 and 5 and 8 and 12 and 8, 12 and 8, the 8 and 12 grouping are there at the source, and the effect also indirectly it is present because Venus star level having got Saturn. So, and moon is also there. So moon is also passing ruler link to the Venus. So 8 and 12 are influencing the star lord also. For the source, and yeah, planet also, sublord planet also influencing the Venus. So that way it is favorable, but 8 and 12 significations are strongly influencing the all the levels. Because of that, this destiny is favorable for the business prospects, but because of this, when 5 and 9 are also joining hands, definitely they will form some combined impact on the negative side. But because of the all the favorable grouping also there, 6, 7, 1, 4, and 10, and you can see 11, 7 and 11, and Venus is having good, and Sun 1 and 7, 3, 7, 11. This, you can see this grouping, 3, 7, 11 grouping, 2, 6, 10 grouping, and one fine. All these grouping are favorable to the Lagna and also the in general to the professional prospects. 3, 7, 11 and 2, 6, 10 are very good. One fine is good for the Lagna, and this is the one problematic trigon, and that is also getting the support of the other favorable. So because of this, destiny is good, but with the weakness, with obstacles and hurdles, and favorable also there, and obstacles also there. So this is comparatively, it has got some weakness when compared to the previous chart, right? So destiny we have studied. So which are the planets are influencing the destiny planet on the unfavorable side? We know that Saturn is the important planet, 10th sublord itself, and moon and another important planet. Then what are the other planets which are influencing the that destiny? Saturn, moon, and Rahu. These pink shade planets, all three pink shade planets are influencing the Saturn. Saturn itself is the 10th sublord planet. I think you're able to understand. Now let us check the periods. Now let me tell about these persons. He joined his parental business of textiles along with with his brother after his father's death. Along with brother, he joined the his studies also. He joined the parental business in the 2002 during the period that native was running. Now he is running Moon Mahadasa, right? But during that Venus Mahadasa, he started his business. Venus Mahadasa, Jupiter Bugdi, he started the business in 2002. We have to check that how is Venus and how is Jupiter supportive for that. So already we studied the Venus is the 10th Lord planet. We already discussed it is favorable, and also it is supportive for the partnership also because it is having fifth house and seventh house and eighth house and favorable houses along with that weakness also there. It is supportive for the joint venture. Venus is giving green signal in the Bugdi of Jupiter. Jupiter is the one which is fifth Lord, eighth Lord occupying 11th house. This is supportive for joint venture. In the star of Saturn, again Saturn also 6, 7, 1, 10 supportive, and 12 level Venus and sublord Mercury is a good key planet. So that way, Venus Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi, it is supportive for the natives joint venture, right? Where is the role of the Venus? How far Venus and Jupiter are connected? Look at the Venus. Venus is under the influence of Jupiter only, right? Jupiter has got the influence of Venus, so they are well connected to each other. So Venus under the influence of Jupiter and also Saturn is playing role here. So and the Venus also playing role and other favorable key planet Mercury also playing. So Venus Jupiter there is no issue. It has started, but still you can see that 6,008 and 12 are present. 6, 7, 8, and 12. These grouping in general, they are not good for the stable partnership. That you have to keep it in mind, right? So, though it started in Venus and Jupiter, after few years in Venus and Saturn, during this period itself, there was no good understanding between the partners, that is his brother and him. So there are a lot of, I mean, misunderstanding was going on, and during that Saturn Bugdi, Venus Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, Saturn is the planet which is giving some sort of trouble to that 10th house matter by way of loans and sort of separation also it is possible if it is a partnership because 310 and 1 and 7 moving towards 6, 7, 1, 4, 8, 12, 6, 8 and 12 supportive for that one. When Saturn itself is ruling, in the star of Venus is supportive and 12 level and sublord is moon 12 and 8 to 16. So during that Saturn period, Saturn is the planet which is influencing the Venus also. That Saturn in the star of Venus and sublord is moon. Already Venus is influenced by Moon, right? Moon is unfavorable. All the three pink shade planets are influencing Venus. And Saturn is also having that Rahu, it is in source, in the supports. Rahu only it is having, not the Moon. And Venus is having all the three planets, Saturn, Moon, and Jupiter. Saturn, Moon, Jupiter. So there are four planets, pink shade, right? So Jupiter is change causing key planet, but unfavorable we can say 8 and 12, Moon, Rahu, and Saturn. So that Saturn in the star of Venus, that Venus is having Saturn and Moon. Rahu is not there, but Jupiter is there. And that moon itself is ruling at the sub level. Moon is having that Jupiter in its supports because Jupiter and moon are also in sign exchange. So that way, during that Venus Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, which is the one which is ruling as the sublord for the Venus and influencing the Venus also, that Saturn is acting as the Bhukti Lord and Sublord is supporting for obstacles and struggles. So the sixth house, seventh house, that seventh house meters are facing some changes and resulting into separation. During that Venus Dasa Saturn Bhukti, the native had the problem and separation happened between the partners and he started doing on its own. So 10th Lord and 10th Sublord planet, right? So overall, his job prospects, sorry, professional prospects and business is going to be moderate because of the more in role of the 8 and 12, and many planets are under the influence of the mixed key planets, right? Now, Venus Dasa Saturn Bugdi and Jupiter Bugdi was running. Somehow he was, he was handling the situation. Everything is fine. But during that Sun Dasa started, look at the Sun Dasa. Sun Dasa Lagna is ruling, representing Rahu. In the star of Rahu itself, that Rahu has got Saturn in its role. Rahu is under the influence of Saturn also, right? Sun has got Saturn and Rahu. Sun, Rahu, okay. Sun also under the influence of Saturn. Saturn is the planet 10 sublord and 6, 7, 8 and 12 significator also. So mixed significator, trouble giver to the Lagna. Lagna lord influenced by the Saturn on the favorable side also and trouble giving side and star lord planet Rahu itself. And 2A level planet, sublord planet are trying to reduce the unfavorable signification supported to the Lagna, but these houses supported to the Lagna, but these are not very good for the progress of the business, right? And that Venus also under the influence of the Moon Saturn, right? Moon Saturn. So, fortunately, Moon Saturn are not ruling, but Rahu is ruling at the star level and also first level, and last level also Rahu is ruling as the second planet of the star lord of the sublord. So now Lagna is connected to the 8 and 12 strongly by way of rulers, by way of influence. And star level planet importantly unfavorable, obstacle causing houses. Not completely unfavorable, it is favorable to the Lagna, and Lagna is going to face lot of struggles and obstacles, some setbacks, but to a level and sub level, they are going to reduce that 8 and 12 by these favorable significations to the Lagna. Lagna will face favorable significations also, but they are not very good for the progress. Suppose instead of 159, if it is 2610 or there, suppose Mercury is playing role along with that, it is going to be very good. Now, this is also supportive, but absence of the favorable grouping for the professions, it is making that some weakness. It means you look at Venus Dasa and Sun Dasa, which is better? Venus Dasa is having star level, having Sun, but 2A level only Rahu, and sublord is having that weakness. Sublord is indicating some sort of struggles, right? But role of Rahu is not playing role at the primary levels. Any of the levels, the role of Rahu straight away, planet level, star level, or sub level, it is not playing. Only the 2A level and second planet to the star lord. But here, Sun planet Lagna itself is going to experience. Here, 10,000 meters are going to experience this favorable with obstacles. But here, Lagna itself is going to face these significations favorable to the Lagna, but along with that strong unfavorable struggles and some setbacks to the Lagna, right? And sublord planet Venus also, it is indicating some sort of obstacles because Venus having Saturn and also Moon, right? So that way, during that Sun Dasa, that native was feeling some sort of obstacles and hurdles. The Lagna is facing some sort of stress also, and not very good progress in the business also. He started facing because of these significations, right? So during Sun Dasa, he started facing the significant problem due from the Moon Bugdi onwards. Why from Moon Bugdi? Which is the unfavorable key planet, making that Sun is weaker by the ruler. Rahu is the strong unfavorable key planet. Rahu is the strong unfavorable key planet of the Dasalat, Sun. And along with that other unfavorable key planet influencing the that Sun Mahadasa is Saturn. Saturn is influencing the Sun and also Rahu also by way of supports, right? All other key planet that Saturn, Moon also there influencing the sublord. So Moon is after that is coming, right? So now look at that Moon. Moon itself is playing. Moon in the star of Mercury is fine, but you can see sublord Rahu directly playing. This is not good. This is not good. The unfavorable key planet which is ruling the Dasa Lord, making the Dasa Lord is weak to the Lagna and also for the business, that itself is as the sublord for this moon, which is already weak, right? Moon is having got Jupiter, sign action with Jupiter, and then that moon is in the star of the Mercury. Moon and Mercury connected. So this is favoring the 12 and 8 to 16. It is weak, but supported by the Mercury. That way, it is getting some sort of, though source is having weakness, star level is giving some additional support to the favorable side. And 2 level planet is giving some sort of weakness again, right? That Mercury planet is having both Jupiter and Moon in supports. That Jupiter itself is there in the 2 level planet. It is giving some support also, favorable supports also there. 5-8 is indicating some obstacles. Otherwise, this grouping is good. But sublord planet is not leaving it. Sublord planet is indicating obstacles, struggles again. So 12 and 8 are getting reduced by the star level, but for increased by the sublord planet. That Rahu is other than none other than the key planet of the Dasa Lord itself. So that way, Moon is having two levels, or planet level, sub level, and 2 level also, that pink shade planet. So this is indicating weakness. So in Sun Dasa, Moon Bugdi, he started facing problem. Of obviously in Mars also, Rahu is playing role at the star level and sub level. During this period also, he started facing some sort of slowdown in the business, some obstacles and hurdles. Why? But they did not. They actually, the natives started facing some financial issues and slowed down the business. But because of the favorable grouping also there, right? When I'm talking about that unfavorable house, that pink shade planet, check the pink shade planet, Moon having got Mercury, and Rahu having got Sun, Ketu, Mars, which are all favorable, and Jupiter is having got Mercury, strong favorable key planet, and also Venus, and Saturn also having got all the four favorable key planets. So mixed key planets are also having the strong favorable key planet. So that is the one weakness are getting reduced by the supports, right? Now you can see that Mars is in the star level, sub level, having got some weakness, that unfavorable key planet Rahu, which is influencing the Dasa Lord by way of star Lord, that itself is playing role. So that way, Moon is having indicating weakness, Rahu, Mars is having some weakness, and Rahu itself is playing role here. Rahu itself is running, and Rahu in the star of Venus is supportive to the Lagna, but not very good for the business prospect. But Venus in the star of Sun is fine, but again influenced by the Rahu. Then sublord is Mercury. Whether Mercury is passing ruler link to the other planet, Mercury, Venus is having any Mercury here? No. And Rahu having Mercury here? Rahu is not having Mercury, but Rahu represents Sun. Sun is not, also not having Mercury. And sublord planet is Mercury. Mercury holding the Jupiter and the Moon. The Jupiter is a mixed one, but Moon is influencing that. So overall, it is indicating weakness, but because of the Rahu, which is the unfavorable key planet influencing the Dasa Lord, the impact of the Rahu, it is significant here also. But when compared to Mars, it is comparatively better because Mars planet is in the star and sub of the Rahu itself, right? And then comes the Jupiter. Jupiter planet is okay. Jupiter in the star of Saturn, it is 6, 4, 8, 12 grouping that already there and unfavorable grouping. That Saturn role of Rahu is not straight away present. That is one important point. Sub-level planet is good planet. That is good. But role of Rahu is not there, but other pink shade planet and star level planets are ruling, and that Saturn is having got that Rahu in its supports. Jupiter is not having, but Jupiter is having that moon. The unfavorable key planet of the Dasa Lord Rahu is not straight away playing role, but that is influencing the star lord of the Jupiter by way of support, that star lord itself having the card that unfavorable or mixed key planet. So definitely here also the native will face obstacles, but when compared to the other planet, it is better because sublord planet is very good. So that way favorable grouping also strongly present. So during that period, and Sandasa, Moon Bugdi, and Mars Bugdi, Rahu Bugdi, and Jupiter Bugdi, some ups and downs, but comparatively better. But there will be some weakness because the Sol Lord is not very strong, and Lagna is going to face that problems and all. And Saturn Bugdi started. In Saturn, as I said, 6, 8, and 12 already present. 6, 8, 12 significator Saturn is the one which is going to give the more loans and dates that problem to the finance, and that is also indicated by the star, by the planet, because what is happening in the Jupiter Bugdi, that is going to be further carried to the Saturn Bugdi. That Jupiter is in the star of Saturn itself would have faced some sort of trouble, but during that Saturn itself, when it started, then again he would have started with the unfavorable, that Saturn is holding that Rahu in its supports, and star level is fine, 12 level Rahu is there, and sublord planet Moon. So that Moon itself will 8, 12 and 8. So because of that, Saturn also will face some sort of struggles, but role of Rahu is only at the 2A level, sorry, 2A level planet as the second planet only. That way it is better comparatively, but starting with the 6, 4, 8, 12, that is not good. So, since the Dasa Lord, what we have to keep it in mind, when the Dasa Lord planet is in the nakshatra of a planet, and Dasa Lord and the nakshatra Lord, the source and effect are combinedly signifying trouble giving houses to the Lagna, trouble giving houses to the event if it is present. That planet, unfavorable key planet, especially the star level planet, which is influencing the Dasa Lord, that itself is ruling the other planets also by way of planet itself, by way of star lord and sublord for other planets. That planet will get the influence of that unfavorable key planets significantly. If the Dasa Lord is not having that influence of the unfavorable key planets, especially at the star level, then impact of that unfavorable key planet in the other planets, that will be comparatively lesser. That we have to keep it in mind, right? So in the then after that Mercury also, up to Mercury here the problem. Mercury is money, good, and star level planet is mixed when sublord planet is Rahu. So you can see this grouping already there. This is also indicating some weakness. There, it means the native is not facing complete trouble. He started facing a lot of obstacles and struggles, obstacles we have started facing. Lagna itself is facing straight away. And but there will be some betterments also. So it means there will be ups and downs. There will be slow in the business, not to the expected level. There could be some financial constraint definitely because of this. 6, 8, and 12 significations are strongly experienced by the Lagna, right? Then after that, Ketu started. Ketu is not having that role of the Rahu. Ketu is not having that. Ketu having Rahu. Second planet Saturn also having that Rahu, but star level Jupiter. Jupiter is not having Rahu, and Mercury also not having the Rahu. So star level planet and sub-level planet not under the influence of the Rahu also. Jupiter is not under the influence of the Saturn also, and Jupiter having Moon obstacles present, and Moon not only obstacle, it is 2, 6, 10 cuspal star Lord that is supportive, and that way the role of the Rahu is not at the star level and sub level, and favorable significance are there. That way it is comparatively better, and Jupiter is having that Mercury also in its support. So Mercury forming ruler link, it is giving the support. So when compared to the other planets, Bugdi Lord, and Ketu is comparatively better. You understand? So up to Sandasa, Mercury Bugdi, he was having some ups and downs, slow in the business. Then after Ketu, it started improving, right? So by the time Ketu, the Sun, Ketu over and Venus was running, Venus also having some mixed signification. So he could balance, and it is not very good, very significant growth with obstacles. Suppose, please understand, along with that 8 and 12 grouping, whatever you discussed, in these the green color planets with the good grouping, if they are not, ruling, and if they are not in supports, then definitely these troubles are going to be more unfavorable, right? Because as I said, the obstacle causing houses planet itself having got the favorable key planets in their supports, and also all the obstacle causing key planets also having favorable. You can see Rahu having got favorable and obstacles. Moon 12 and 8 having got favorable, and Jupiter is 5, 8, but towards 11 and 2, 4, 6. And Saturn 6, 7, 1, and 8 and 12, but 10th house. It is having both favorable and unfavorable. So on self-signification itself, they're having both obstacles and favorable. It means favorable houses are going to experience hurdles, or the Lagna will face favorable along with the hurdles. We can say that way. So apart from that, they are also getting the favorable key planet in their supports. So the native is bound to face obstacles, and through their self-significations favorable and also support favorable planets, that somehow he will get the supports and he can balance. Because of that, he is facing a lot of obstacles and hurdles. Despite that, he has got some notable growth, but not stable, right? If you remember that previous chart, we can see the difference. So now that Sun Dasa over, then Moon Dasa started, right? Moon Dasa, look at Rahu playing at this sublevel. Here, Sandasa, Rahu is playing at the star level. Whose impact will be significant? Definitely that star level planet, Lagna, representing Rahu. In the star of Rahu, the impact is going to be more. Lagna going to experience this strongly. Here, 12th Lord occupying 8th house and 2, 6, 10 cuspal star Lord, being the 12th Lord is supportive for the investment and struggles also, we can say. But that moon is sign exchange with which planet? And Jupiter, right? Jupiter is with a mixed one. Star level planet is Mercury is very good, right? Moon also having got the Mercury in support. So Moon is getting the support of the star Lord Mercury. That is the favorable one. Here, Sun in the star of Rahu. Rahu representing Sun. So Rahu is giving the unfavorable, both favorable and obstacles to the Lagna. Here it is not like that. Obstacles are getting reduced by the star level planet. Star-Lord itself is good and further supported by the favorable side, this Jupiter. And sublord planet is Rahu. What Rahu is signifying? Yes, Rahu is going to give some obstacles to the Lagna. So this is going to be favorable. Some obstacles are also there definitely. And last level planet is Venus is good. When compared to Sun, Moon will be comparatively better because of the star level planet and 2A level planet. These grouping are good, and the planet itself getting the support of the star lord planet by way of ruler's link. So that way, this is good for the natives' professional prospects, despite some obstacles and hurdles. But there will be obstacles, that's for sure. But when compared to the business point of view, money point of view, this is better than this planet, Sun Dasa. So now Moon Dasa is running. So he is running, notable because during this business, during that Moon Dasa only, his financial position is increased. Why? You can see Moon in the star of Mercury is very good, 2, 11, 7, and which is influencing the supporting the Moon itself. And 12 planet is 5, 8, 11. All are favorable for the minus because money, 2, 4, 6, all are good. And sublord is Rahu's 1, 3, 7, and 8 and 12, indicating some obstacles and hurdles at the result level only. Otherwise, it is all good only, right? Moreover, Rahu has got the Ketu and Mars also in its supports, and Sun planet is having got Ketu and Mars. So, Mars and Ketu role are present, they are all supportive. That way, Moon Dasa is comparatively better than the Sun Mahadasa. So the native is running that Moon Mahadasa right now, and because of the role of the Rahu is not influencing the source planet. Rahu, Moon is not getting the influence of Rahu, and Mercury planet is not getting the influence of the Rahu, and Jupiter planet is also not getting the influence of Rahu. Rahu only at the sub level. So because of that, that moon is comparatively better than the Sun Mahadasa, and he is good for his business prospects. When I'm saying good means we have to keep it in mind. Already we studied the destiny, it is only moderate with obstacles, hurdles will be there. Despite obstacle hurdles, there will be some progress, but there will be instability in the progress because of the obstacle causing houses are present. So that way you would have understood how far the trouble living houses they are influencing other planets and what their influence at the star level or sub level, and from the source effect combination how it is present, and how the dasa lord is influenced by the unfavorable key planets, especially at the star level, and also forming rodal link to the other levels, making that dasa is weak. That Bugdi, which are the Bugdis are under the influence of the same unfavorable key planet of the dasa, which is playing role as the ruler or in supports also, can give significant impact. If that unfavorable key planet is not influencing the dasa as the star level planet, especially, and planet and other levels are not influenced by the unfilled key planets by way of ruler's link also, then that is going to be comparatively better. Here moon also in the sub of Rahu, which is having weakness. Yes, that of course favorable with weakness. It is going to give some obstacles in the result, but that Rahu is not passing ruler link to the other levels. Other levels are getting the support from the favorable key planet, and other levels are also favorable, especially star lord planet. I think you're able to understand. That way, if you study only, we can differentiate of which dasa is better, which dasa is weak. And looking at only the houses, we'll not be able to identify the level-wise study and which level what planets influencing and their rulers link and their company based on the strength of the dasa and the bugdi and antra we have to study. I think you're able to understand. We'll meet in the next video. Good luck.